Hey gang, I'm Fahaam, your financial freedom guru. Let's turn your dreams into billionaire success stories. Today, we're diving into the incredible, almost cinematic rise and dramatic fall of a man who once held the title of the richest person in the entire world, Yoshiaki Tsutsumi. Now, this is not your everyday rags to riches story. This is a story of power, land, trains, luxury resorts, business empires, scandals, and a life that had it all, until it didn't. Yoshiaki Tsutsumi's journey is like a masterclass in ambition and influence, but also a cautionary tale of how quickly everything can crumble when shadows start creeping into the empire. So sit back, because we're going to explore how one man rose to the top of the world's rich list, controlling vast parts of Japan, and then saw it all crash down. Yoshiaki Tsutsumi was born into immense privilege in 1934, the son of Yasujiro Tsutsumi, who was already a real estate and railway tycoon. Yasujiro was the founder of the Seibu Railway Group, and his empire wasn't just about trains. It was about vast swathes of real estate, department stores, hotels, golf courses, and ski resorts. When you talk about generational wealth, the Tsutsumi family practically wrote the book on it. But here's where it gets interesting. When Yasujiro passed away in 1964, his empire didn't simply pass to one child. In a twist that would fuel decades of rivalry, he split his holdings between two sons, Yoshiaki and his half-brother, Seiji. This division created one of Japan's most famous business rivalries, but for Yoshiaki, it also marked the beginning of his empire's expansion. By the 1980s, Yoshiaki had turned Seibu Railway into a massive corporate force. His approach was simple yet genius: control transportation routes and develop land around them. The railway lines weren't just a way to move people, they were a pipeline to his other businesses. He would build luxury hotels, shopping centers, resorts, and housing developments around train stations, making every passenger a potential customer for his other ventures. This vertical integration was decades ahead of its time, and it transformed him into a powerhouse in real estate and leisure. At his peak, Yoshiaki controlled more land in Japan than almost anyone else. Imagine owning so much prime real estate that your name becomes synonymous with wealth in your country. That's the level he was at. During the height of Japan's asset bubble in the late 1980s, Yoshiaki Tsutsumi's net worth was estimated to be around $20 billion, and that's in 1987 dollars. Adjusted for inflation, we're talking over $50 billion today. He wasn't just Japan's richest man, he was the richest person on the planet. To put it into perspective, he was Elon Musk before Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and Bernard Arnault. His empire included the Prince Hotels chain, ski resorts like Niba and Karuizawa, the Seibu Lions baseball team, and stakes in multiple golf courses. He even brought the Winter Olympics to Nagano in 1998 by heavily backing Japan's bid. The Seibu Railway Group was everywhere. If you lived in Japan in the 80s or 90s, chances are you either took his trains, stayed in his hotels, skied on his slopes, or shopped in his malls. But here's the thing, when you're at the top, everyone's watching, and not all of them are cheering for you. The cracks in Yoshiaki's empire started to appear in the late 1990s and early 2000s. Japan's economic bubble burst in the early 90s, and property values tanked. His companies faced declining revenues, but the biggest storm was yet to come. Investigations revealed irregularities in Seibu Railway's shareholder registry, a scheme designed to ensure that the Tsutsumi family maintained control of the company despite public ownership. The truth: many shareholders listed on paper didn't actually exist, and some were employees or affiliates holding shares on behalf of the Tsutsumi family. This practice, which had quietly kept his grip on power unchallenged, was about to become the reason for his downfall. In 2005, the unthinkable happened. Yoshiaki Tsutsumi, the man who once held the crown as the world's richest, was arrested on charges of securities fraud and false reporting. It was a national shock. Japan doesn't often see its business titans publicly brought down like this. The arrest wasn't just about legal violations, it was about trust. For decades, Yoshiaki had been a symbol of corporate power, and now he was painted as a symbol of corporate corruption. The court found him guilty, and though his sentence was relatively light by global standards, the damage was irreversible. He resigned from all his positions, and the Tsutsumi name, once golden, became a cautionary tale. The fall was as spectacular as the rise. His wealth plummeted. The Seibu Railway Group restructured, new management came in, and Yoshiaki faded from public life. From being the richest man in the world to virtually disappearing from the global business conversation, his journey became one of the most dramatic billionaire stories ever told. But here's where the lesson comes in for all of us chasing financial freedom. Yoshiaki's success came from a brilliant vision, the ability to see opportunities where others didn't, to link industries together in ways that multiplied profits. He understood the power of location, the importance of controlling multiple points in a consumer's journey, and the benefits of building ecosystems around your core business. That's a strategy worth learning from. At the same time, his downfall teaches us that no amount of wealth can shield you from the consequences of unethical decisions. It's one thing to grow an empire, it's another to sustain it with transparency and integrity. The higher you climb, the more fragile your position becomes if you start cutting corners. In Yoshiaki's case, the shortcuts he took to maintain control eventually became the very thing that stripped it away. It's a reminder that legacy isn't just about how much money you make, it's about how your name is remembered when you're no longer in the room. Even today, the remnants of his empire are still visible in Japan. Seibu Railway still operates, Prince Hotels still welcome guests, and the infrastructure he built still serves millions of people. His impact on Japan's real estate and transportation landscape is undeniable. But so is the cautionary aspect of his story, that extreme concentration of wealth and power can be both a blessing and a curse. For entrepreneurs and aspiring investors, Yoshiaki Tsutsumi's journey is like a two-sided coin. On one side, it's inspiration. Think big, build connected industries, dominate your market. On the other side, it's warning. Don't let control become an obsession, don't let ambition blind you to legal and ethical boundaries, and always remember that trust is your most valuable currency. And maybe that's the ultimate takeaway. Financial freedom isn't just about accumulating assets, it's about creating something sustainable, something that can outlive you without crumbling under the weight of its own ambition. Yoshiaki Tsutsumi reached the absolute peak of global wealth, but in chasing control at all costs, he lost the very empire he'd spent decades building. So dream big, work smart, build strong foundations, but never forget that the real game is not just becoming the richest person in the room, it's staying there with your integrity intact. Because as Yoshiaki's story shows, the view from the top is incredible, but the fall is even faster.